Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining us here on Blitz. I'm your host, Brian Carter. We've got a good show for you today. We got some golf interviews from Habersham Central and also Lumpkin County. And then later in the show, we have 9 of our spring sports players of the year. You want to stick around, make sure you catch those. We're going to start out here at Habersham Central with both the boys and girls golf coaches, Coach Chris Chitwood and Shawn Blackburn of the Lady Raiders. Coaches, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here on the show.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate you having us.
Now, Coach Chitwood, let's start with you. Your team, your boys, your Raiders, just won their 6th straight region title, which is extremely impressive. So you got to be proud about that. Talk about how you're able to maintain that success year in and year out, and just your overall thoughts on winning 6 straight titles.
I think it's something that was established a few years ago. Some guys saw that we had some success with it. We've got guys that are serious about it. The kids that we have on our team are guys that want to play at the next level, and we've kind of established that early and really built a foundation, and those guys are working hard to do what it takes, and we've got a goal. We want to win a state championship, and however long it takes for us to do that, we're going to try to do it. And it's all about the guys. They buy into what we're doing, and they work hard and get better, and it's really shown. So.
Yeah, and Coach, you had a great year, just placing 9th in the state tournament. Now, Coach Blackburn, your team also had a great year.
Yes,
the girls, Lady Raiders, they had a great season. Finished 2nd in the region, go to state, and then you have a top 10 finish there. Talk a little about your team this year and your overall thoughts on being able to make state.
Well, we set a goal at the beginning of the year. We missed state in 2010 by 2 strokes, losing to Appalachia, and we set a goal this year to make it to state, even as region runner-up or as region champs. And we ended up beating that region, Appalachia, by 16 strokes to make it to state behind Madison County. And once we made it to state, we set a goal to finish in the top 10. And these girls worked hard all year and were able to do that. They finished 10th in the state tournament. And we're setting goals for next year and the next year. They've really worked hard this year to do the things they needed to do to get us there. So it's been a great year for these girls.
We look forward to them continuing that success, both of your teams. Coach Chitwood, let's go back to you. 6 straight titles in golf, and then the Raiders soccer team also has 6 straight region titles. It's pretty impressive, and there's a lot of similarities between those two teams. It just seems like no matter who you lose year in, year out, you have enough talent that comes in and just sort of just fills those holes and able to get back to another region title. Is there any kind of any play going on there between the soccer team and golf team? Maybe not from a coach's standpoint, but maybe from the players, just sort of bragging rights and the school pride and everything.
There may be among the kids at the school and stuff, and our players, but as far I email Rick consistently through the year, and he does the same thing to us. We wish each other the best of luck, and I'm pulling for, we're pulling for each other. We're pulling for every sport to do well, because it. When a sport does well and goes to the playoffs and competes in the state, it helps your school pride overall, and it's always a good thing. So, I don't want to outlast them. I just want to keep winning for us, and we'll see what happens. But Rick's done a great job with the soccer program, and it's a fun group to watch. And our guys will go to the soccer game when we get done with practice and stuff like that sometimes. And we take pride in everything at our school, and I think it's great to have success in our school. It just builds school pride.
Now, Coach Blackburn, you have a very young team this year. You're not losing any seniors going to next year, and you kind of hit on a little bit building on what you accomplished this season, taking into next year, but not so much looking at that, but just talk about, talk about what you plan to take from your girls going to state this year, being region runner-ups, and what you take from that to build on for next year and the years to come.
Well, we got great experience this year from region and from state. We've got a really young team. We played state with 2 freshmen and 2 sophomores. And what we're looking at, what we talked about after state was over this year was, making it back next year, hopefully finishing in the top 5, and then the next year maybe having a chance to win state. And they've got a lot of potential. We had a freshman this year that shot a record low score at region and shot a record low score for our school at state. So, they've got unlimited potential. And these girls see it as wanting to go to the next level also. We're finally starting to see that in the program, and we want to, just tell off what the boys have been doing for the last 6 to 10 years, is winning region championships.
Now, Coach Chitwood, for you, you've got a unique group of guys too. Now, you will be losing some talent this year, and I think Jake Price and Jake Brooks, two of the notable ones that come to mind. Now, with the group of guys you also have Tanner Batson, who is the region champion, individual region champ this year. It seemed like every time out you have a different guy who could be your low medalist. Talk about how blessed you are as a coach to be able to have a group of guys that any given day could be a low medalist for you.
It's just great. We have great team competitions at practice, and the guys want to outdo each other. It's funny, this is the first year we've had qualifying, and they don't really care what order they're in, what order they play in. If it's 1 through 6, they're just glad to go and get to compete. And they're always trying to do the best that they can. And we've got enough talent this year, and we're deep enough this year to where we went to several tournaments and we had a different low score just about every time. You know, you talked about Jake Brooks. He was probably our solid guy for the year. You know, he broke 80 just about every tournament that he played in. Tanner came on really strong at the end and you know, obviously won region shooting 70 and then shot 76 at state, which was a solid score for us. And you know, we've got some great talent. Last year, our low medalist for the team was Jake Price, and he was 3rd this year. So we've had some guys really step up their game, and you know, we're competitive not only with other teams that we play, other players, but we're competitive within our own team, which I think is great. Anytime you have that, then you're going to have guys that are going to perform whenever they get in competition.
Right, that makes sense. Just being able to compete with each other on a team can help other people raise their game to another level as well. Coach Blackburn, for you, talk about the pressure that may exist to repeat the success next year, just having that young team, and you already get a taste of the, you know, going to state. So talk about the pressure that may exist on the team with the girls and, you know, as you coaching to do it again next year.
Well, I'm sure there's pressure, but I think the pressure was greater this year to make it than maybe next year. We've made it 2 out of the last 3 years to the state tournament, and next year's, I hope they don't overextend themselves as far as looking at Madison and Appalachia and overlook some other teams that may be in the region tournament, because those are the 2 teams that's been in the top the last 3 years. But I think the pressure will be there. It's just working through that. They've been there, they've experienced it now, so they know what they're looking at when we go to region next year. So I think we'll be fine.
Well, coaches, thank you so much for taking time to be with us here on Blitz, and congratulations on having such a great season and letting both teams be able to make state. That's quite an accomplishment, and we just appreciate you taking time to be with us here on the show.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, now don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come right back here to Habersham Central. We've got Tanner Batson representing the Raiders team and Ashley Blackburn of the Lady Raiders coming up next.